Buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and password or check our website, www.cslpv.org, and you'll find the link on the weekly talk section. Today is the final day of May, Sunday, May 31st, 2026. And we are continuing our annual theme, Open at the Top. The topic for this month has been divine doubt. And today, our topic is doubt as devotion, questioning as an act of love. The suggested reading for this month has been Disciplines of the Spirit by Howard Thurman. So at this time, I'd like to once again welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and here at our center in Vallarta. Whether you are on the live Zoom call or watching the replay at a later time. Here we teach a philosophy that honors all faith traditions. So whatever path you are on, know that it is the right one for you and you are valued here. As I said, we teach the philosophy and it's called the Science of Mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom, where we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. We honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that is already existing everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the Science of Mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the teaching of the Science of Mind, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer service with an inspirational message. We offer the Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and also meet in person Sundays at noon. Whether you are on the Zoom or in person, hang out with us afterwards to enjoy a cup of coffee and some great conversation with like-minded people. And now, as we do each week, let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And now, as we have been continuing our tradition of reading from the Creative Thought magazine from its last year in circulation, 2014. So as you may know, spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to gently close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. As I center myself in this moment, I recognize that God is all there is, and joy fills my being. As I look around my world, the blessings are present and obvious. No matter the seeming appearances of events, I know that God remains absolute. The ever constant presence is me. Everywhere I am in the presence and of the present. It is omnipresent. As I focus on sacred presence, the circumstances I may face are not faced alone. I take this moment to remember who and what I am, a manifestation of the divine here as me. I am made in the image and likeness of God, so I am divine love, peace, power, and perfection. Freedom is my birthright. Boundless, I dare to think big. I choose to feel worthy of good in all its forms. I am lifted, nurtured, and sustained by benevolence beyond my comprehension. In this consciousness, I remember to reach out and ask, how may I serve today? Confidently, I embrace this belief, and joy fills my being. Today, I allow the day to be filled with wisdom and the remembering of God in everything. My gratitude expands. It is done. I let go, allowing its full fruition. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. And that was originally submitted by Reverend Anne Ahokangas from Waterloo, Ontario. My apologies if I have mispronounced her last name. So, in this oneness review, we have been putting together divine doubt into our conversations with becoming higher and deeper love. Taken together, these three chart a path of divine expression through surrender to vulnerability and a trusting of the universal process. So, what doubts distract or keep you from experiencing your fullness, deeper love? Or what if those doubts are signposts rather than detours? In his book, Disciplines of the Spirit, Howard Thurman wrote this: sometimes the radiance of love is so soft and gentle that the individual sees themselves with all harsh lines wiped away and all limitations blended with their strengths in so happy a combination that strength seems to be everywhere and weakness is nowhere to be found. This is part of the magic, the spell of love. Sometimes its radiance kindles old fires that have long since grown cold from the neglect of despair, or new fires kindled by hope born full blown, without beginning and without end. Sometimes the same radiance blesses a life with a vision or its possibilities never before dreamed of or caught, stimulating new endeavor and summoning all latent powers to energize the life at its innermost core. He went on to say, but there are other ways by which love works its perfect work. There is already anxiety that surrounds humanity's experience of love. It may stab the spirit by calling forth bitter, scathing self-judgments. The heights to which it calls may seem so high that all incentive is lost and the individual is stricken with utter hopelessness or despair. It may throw in relief, old and forgotten weaknesses to which one has made the adjustment of acceptance, but which now stir in their place to offer themselves as a testimony of one's worthiness and to challenge the love with their embarrassing reality. At such times, one expects love to be dimmed in the mistaken notion that it is ultimately based upon merit and worth. Behold the miracle. Love has no awareness of merit or demerit. It has no scale by which its portion may be weighed or measured. It does not seek to balance like giving and receiving. Love loves. This is its nature. And Ernest Holmes wrote this: there is no one who believes more in faith, more in prayer, or more in the necessity of the divine will being done than one who practices daily the science of mind. So often we think that to voice our doubts or concerns is to reject something. It's seen as argumentative. It's seen as derogatory or even impolite. However, science of mind teaches us that curiosity and exploration are fundamental aspects of divine life. Doubting, rather than being an insult to the divine, is an act of devotion in itself. We are not a dogmatic theology. We do not claim to have all the answers, but rather to have a method of seeking them and of adjusting once new information comes to light. Without doubt, we cannot begin the exploration in the first place. Doubting is a sacred act of love and is one of the many steps necessary to craft a healthy and living faith. So, what is the foundation of a practical faith? Doubt breeds curiosity and leads us to dig deeper. This is the foundation of practical faith. Science of mind is based on the idea that our thoughts and our actions are powerful and that we can use them to shape a deeper experience of God and a better world. Doubt is not the antithesis in this. In fact, doubt can be a method for finding that deeper and higher love that's necessary to creating a world that works for all. Doubt offers us the opportunity to notice our needs, to question the status quo, and to wonder what is possible. In The Science of Mind, Holmes wrote this: the thought of faith molds the undifferentiated substance and brings into manifestation the thing which was fashioned in the mind. This is how faith brings our desires to pass. So doubt can be a call to accountability. Our doubt in institutions and systems calls them to uphold their values, operating in integrity with the highest of good for the all. And collectively, we demand better action and a change in our systems to create a world that does work for everyone. One of the best things about Centers for Spiritual Living is that we are not based in a restrictive dogma, nor obligated to maintain the dictates of the past. As we remain open at the top in the pursuit of a world that works for all and all of creation, doubt helps us to notice that places where we are not currently living into this mandate, but instead are closed off to the potential of life or causing harm with our action or inaction. Doubt in the divine helps us seek the divine in new ways. Doubt in ourselves uncovers new truths. And Albert Einstein said this: the important thing is to not stop questioning. So here's a little story for today. One day, a fellow was driving his car when the check engine light came on. He noticed it right away, but thought, it's probably nothing. The light will probably come on. It probably came on by itself. So he just kept driving. A few minutes later, the light was still on. He tried ignoring it by turning up the music, adjusting the air conditioning, and looking out the side window. The light was still on. Finally, the driver reached into the glove compartment box, pulled out a strip of duct tape and placed it over the warning light. Problem solved. Or so he thought. For a while, everything seemed better. No light, no warning, no anxiety, no message. Then the car started making a noise, signaling that something was really wrong. The man sighed and said, "I don't understand. I dealt with it." And that was the problem. He had silenced the messenger, but he had not listened to the message. Doubt can be like that check engine light. Annoying? Yes. Sometimes we don't want to face it. Absolutely. But doubt is not the enemy of faith. It can be the signal that something needs attention. Something needs to be questioned, healed, examined, released, or understood in a deeper way. And Caroline Myss wrote this: our lives are made up of a series of mysteries that we are meant to explore, but that are meant to remain unsolved. We are meant to live with the questions we have about our lives, even use them as companions, and allow them to lead us into the deepest recesses of our nature, wherein we discover the sacred. So there is a deep faith in a living God. A God who asks us not to doubt is a God who wants stagnant faith. By doubting, we move deeper into ways of loving God and one another. Fulfillment is a journey, and when doubt arises, it can serve as a starting point for deeper exploration rather than a reason to cling to stagnant or outdated practices. The goal is not to create a life or a spirituality that is free of the discomfort of doubt, but one that can grow alongside changing needs and ever unfolding reality of the divine. A practical faith makes space for doubt and uses it to explore. Practical faith does not eliminate doubt. It creates a healthy relationship with it. Many people assume that faith and doubt are opposites, but Ernest Holmes often emphasized that faith is not blind belief. Rather, it is a willingness to trust a deeper truth, even when our human understanding is incomplete. Practical faith allows us to acknowledge doubt without surrendering to it. When we encounter a new idea, a new transition, or a spiritual challenge, doubt often appears at the edge of our current understanding. In this sense, doubt can be a sign that we are growing beyond old limitations. A practical faith says, I do not know how, pardon me. A practical faith says, I do not have to know everything before I take the next step. Faith provides the courage to move forward while questions remain unanswered. Certainty depends on having proof, while faith is an inner conviction that there is an intelligence, a presence, and a power at work, even when we cannot yet see the outcome. Practical faith makes room for thoughts such as, I wonder if this will work. I am not sure what comes next. I have questions. The presence of these questions doesn't negate faith. Faith becomes the larger container that holds them. Rather than treating doubt as the enemy, we are invited to become curious about it. Doubt may reveal hidden fears, limiting beliefs, and areas where greater understanding is needed. When examined honestly, doubt can point us toward a deeper faith. Practical faith is not the absence of doubt. It is the decision to remain open to possibility, guided by spiritual truth, even while questions, fears, and uncertainties are still being worked through. It invites us to move from merely believing spiritual principles to actually living them. And Eckhart Tolle wrote this: as you become comfortable with uncertainty, infinite possibilities open up in your life. It means fear is no longer a dominant factor in what you do and no longer prevents you from taking action to initiate change. So faith can be understood in many ways. Belief is one, but it's not the only definition. In an active spiritual practice, like those taught in the science of mind, doubt is not the opposite of faith. Instead, it can be a pathway to deeper faith, a sign that something needs attention or exploration, or an indication that we may have strayed from our spiritual alignment. Certainty, by contrast, can be more limiting, as it often closes us off to new insights and possibilities. By embracing our doubts, we open the door to greater love, deeper fulfillment, and a more expansive spiritual life. And I'll leave you with this quote: sometimes I think it is my mission to bring faith to the faithless and doubt to the faithful. And that leads us to our affirmation for the week. Love is the foundation of my questions and curiosities. So if you want to find the answer, you need to start with a question. Where do you have doubts? And ask questions from there, and it will lead you to your answers. So now for news and updates at our center. If you are interested in learning about Science of Mind teaching, we do offer courses via Zoom as well as in person. So connect with me or check our website to find the details. And there's also a survey for your input for upcoming courses. So please check that out and let me know what you are interested in so we can plan for these. If you would like to have a one-on-one connection with a spiritual mind treatment, please contact me to set up this. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, as membership is renewed annually, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, please contact me so you can be sent the current forms. I'd also like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And let me know if you would like to receive our weekly posts on Substack. In July, I will be attending the Convention of the Americas again this year in Lake Chapala, and I will be offering a workshop. I invite you to come and join me for a week of love, wisdom, and community. You can register online through the link www.conventionoftheamericas.org. The early registration discount period has been extended until June 15th. So register today to take advantage of this lower cost. Did you know that the Science of Mind magazine is also available online? For an annual payment of $19.95, you can subscribe to the 12 months of the magazine. And since we are celebrating our 100th anniversary this year, we are challenged to get 100 new subscribers this year. Help us reach that goal. You can scan the QR code or go to www.scienceofmind.com. And I'll bring up that code for you. So there's the QR code in the top left-hand corner. And make sure that you subscribe to the online version of the magazine, as the cost is higher if you require the paper edition, and sometimes challenging to get in international countries, especially in Mexico. So if you are in Mexico, subscribe to the online version as I do. And now it's our time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is greatly appreciated, no matter the amount. And donations can be made using PayPal or Tithely through our website. That's again, www.cslpv.org. And you'll find the donate buttons on both the landing page as well as on the page where you find the weekly talks. Alternatively, you can still send in a paper check by addressing it to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, B1Y8N1. And now please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give thanks, eternal thanks, for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. Today, more than ever, we need to stand for peace. So hug your friend, your loved ones, and your neighbors. May peace and love be with you. Blessings to all. Namaste.